Hello and welcome to this tutorial on Synesa eDromos. This time we'll cover most of the basic features of the simulation in eDromos. We continue from our previous tutorial by converting the mind process into a simulation. Then we'll run the simulation and finally learn about editing simulations. So let's just jump into eDromos. So here's the process we made last time with the emergency department and neurology clinic and ward. So let's just save the analysis. And here's the mind process of the process configuration. So let's just click on actions and save as simulation. This opens a configuration menu, which is fine most of the time as it is, but sometimes you need to configure something to make more sense in a simulation setting. So we just click on save here and the process gets converted into a simulation which appears under the Project Explorer tab on the left. Here we can see the simulation model converted from our process model, and we can just click on run simulation to run it. So the simulation is ready and we can inspect the model. The patients start from a source, go through a branch into a queue and then into the emergency department. Then there's another branch which goes to the neurology clinic or straight to the neurology ward, which both have their own queues. The process ends with the sync, which is the end of the process. We can see the model in action by playing it frame by frame by pressing the play button. And as we can see, only the ward shows any activity because the other processes are too fast to register. This means that there are no queues and the process is efficient. We can check this by clicking on the summary report and checking the details of the simulation. And as we can see, only the neurology ward has any queue time. Then we can go back to the plan mode to edit the simulation. So our process is efficient and our queues are short. So what happens if we increase the amount of people coming in by, say, a factor of 10? So just set the multiplier in the distribution and then we have 10 times more patients in our process. Then just run the simulation and let's see what happens. So let's zoom in on the ward, which has the longest service times. So it should get some queues, as we see, and the queues can get pretty long. So if we are like a hospital administrator, we might want to ease those queues by making another ward in our process. So let's just make another ward and a queue for the ward, and let's connect those to the existing process. Let's just drag these elements from the top into the simulation model, and then we need to connect the existing branches and activities to the new elements. So by selecting the new queue from the left, we can select its inputs and outputs, and we'll just connect both of the possible branches from which the patients come to the neurology wards to the queue, and then we connect the queue to the ward itself. Then we must configure the branch that leads to the new queue and the existing queue to ensure that patients are distributed evenly between the wards. Then we must configure and connect the new activity to the existing end branch of the word process. So we must set the service time to equal the word 7 neurology 3 service time. Then we can also set the entity cost to equal the service time for both words. So now we have configured the process to have 2 neurology words and we can test it. So let's just zoom in on the words and see if the queues become shorter. And as we can see, the queues are significantly shorter than before with only one word. Now we can also see some cost figures in the summary report and compare queue times for both activities. And this concludes our tutorial on eDromos simulation features for now. See you in the next one.